With proof of display, Media Signage is finally providing a real-life solution to certifying the location of an installed public digital signage screen. With proof of display, a camera is installed at a distance from the digital signage screen. The camera snaps images of the installed digital signage screen at random times and analyzes a unique pattern to confirm the screen is running when and where it's supposed to. This gives screen owners the ability to provide advertisers with a proof of display certification that can be cross-referenced with their proof of play report. In other words, advertising agencies can now receive real assurance that their ads ran when and where they were supposed to. And it also provides you with a snapshot of the TV and the campaign at one go. In order to use the proof of display component, you need to use a compatible IP camera. In this case, we're going to use the EZN FS613A M136 wireless Wi-Fi IP camera. So first you have to hook up the IP camera, plug it into your power source and connect it to your network, and has an IP address. You then load the EZN camera utility. You can find this on the DVD that comes with the installation files. Now once you do that, you click on Search Camera. You click on Advanced Mode. As long as the IP camera has already been detected, it'll come up with a list right here. So right now you can see we have one camera online. Click on it. It'll load and then you sign in. On the initial setup, it's going to ask you for your username and password. The default username is admin and there's no password. So next, you set up the IP camera. So all you do is click on the option button right here. So it comes up with the details of your camera. It comes up with a device ID, a MAC address, and so on and so on. Then in alias settings, you can rename the camera. You can name it anything you'd like. You can set up the date of the camera and have it check with an NTP server. And then make sure that you change or assign a password to the admin username. Remember, by default, the username is admin and the password is blank. Depending how you're using the system or the IP cam, you need to set it up with an IP address, static, so it doesn't keep changing. So you can provide it with your IP, your subnet mask, your gateway, your DNS, and you also have to take note of this port. You can name this port anything you'd like. If you're going to be using the Wi-Fi option, the wireless LAN settings, and then hit refresh, and then right here, you can select your access point, and basically, that's it. So just save it, it's going to restart your camera, and then you're good to go. Now back to the Search IP camera interface. You'll see the inner access. Copy that, then go back to the Signage Studio, and then you look for the station you want to assign the camera to. Okay, here we're going to use MS Test, the camera option. You see you have a preset URL and a snapshot URL. Now you need to use this particular sequence. So in this address, you can see I'm using the IP address and the port that was assigned to it. Copy that, then you assign it to the studio. Then save it. Then you use the check camera and closed loop option. Closed loop means that it's in the same network and the camera is pointed toward the correct campaign. Click on that, and when you do that, you're going to see the campaign flash black and white for a few seconds. That's because the system is testing it. And when it succeeds, you're going to see a new button here. You see it's green, which means that the closed loop test went through fine. You could do a snapshot. Here's your screen, and here's your camera. So you'll notice a few options in the camera properties. One is the snapshot URL. The other is the preset URL. Because when you're working with the IP camera, sometimes what happens is the camera gets restarted. So what you need to do is configure it in such a way so that it is set for one preset config. And this is so every time you try to do a screen capture, it'll move it right there. So we're going to set it to 1. So we're going to move this, and then we'll call 1, and as you can see, it refocuses to the TV screen. So when you do that, make sure that you add this URL code right here. That's very important. Just copy and paste it. Test on update, so every time you push an update to the screen, it's going to test the closed loop to check and make sure that the camera is still pointed at the associated screen. Schedule enable. Basically, you can enable it for the system to test it anytime. At this case, we'll test it at 2 in the morning. So the system will test that the camera is pointed toward the screen at 2 in the morning, and it'll show you the closed loop camera indicator right here. It means that the camera is pointed toward the screen, and if it's red, it means it's not properly configured. Maybe it's pointed somewhere else. Now, as a test, I'm going to move this here so that it's not pointed at the TV. Then I'm going to do a test, capture. As you can see, it's not pointed there. But when you check camera in closed loop option or test on the update, the system automatically tests it, and you see it comes up green. And when you do your next screen cap, instead of the camera pointing towards somewhere else, you can see that it's back to the focus of the TV screen. And basically, that's it. Thanks for watching.